They found the first page by accident, wedged behind a rusted iron beam inside an abandoned railway vault outside Chicago. But once historians realized the handwriting matched a government scientist who vanished in 1893, everything changed. Because the page didn't describe history, it predicted it.
On October 12, 2024, at 7:42 a.m., construction worker Ben Harlow swung his flashlight into the cracked concrete under the old Illinois Central rail line. The site was supposed to become a commuter tunnel, nothing remarkable. Yet as the dust settled, he saw a steel door welded shut, its center branded with a faded U.S. Geological Survey emblem from the 19th century. It made no sense. The USGS wasn't founded until 1879, and no official record showed any underground facility here. Curiosity outweighed protocol. Ben called his colleague, and within an hour, the door was pried open, revealing a narrow corridor leading to a vault full of collapsed shelves, burnt paper, and twisted metal cases, except for one intact iron container sealed with pitch-black resin that smelled strangely like pine tar. Inside it lay a single leather-bound ledger wrapped in oilcloth, and in the center of the cover, stamped in gold letters, "Property of Dr. Elias Rourke, 1893. Ben didn't know it yet, but he had just uncovered the most dangerous forgotten journal in American history.
Dr. Elias Rourke had been a ghost in historical archives. A brilliant geophysicist, he worked during the Chicago World's Fair, an era of technological explosion. Rourke's last recorded day alive was August 17, 1893, when he entered a restricted mining survey site in the Colorado mountains. He never came out. No body, no clues, no final report. Newspapers called it a mountain disappearance. The government quietly labeled it unresolved field casualty. His colleagues believed it was something far stranger, because Rourke had hinted at discoveries that could bend the understanding of terrestrial chronology. Most historians dismissed him as eccentric, until now. The ledger found beneath the Chicago tracks was written in Rourke's unmistakably sharp handwriting, and the first date on the opening page was August 19, 1893, 2 days after he vanished.
At Northwestern University, historian Dr. Amelia Thorne examined the journal under magnification. The ink had barely faded, not a trace of moisture damage, as if the pages had been sealed yesterday. But what stunned her were the entries. Accurate descriptions of earthquakes that wouldn't occur until the 20th century. References to technologies that had not yet been invented. Mentions of a classified federal committee that wasn't founded until 1947. Impossible. Unless the journal wasn't a record of the past at all, but something else. On page 23, Rourke wrote, "If this record is ever found, it means the boundary has fractured again. The vault must remain sealed. The events I witnessed were never meant for 1893, nor for the decades that followed." Amelia felt a chill. What boundary? Fractured how? But the next words were the most unsettling. Chicago was only the first site. The second breach will surface near the eastern rail lines, when the ground begins to hum. At that exact moment, on the table beside her, Amelia's phone vibrated. A local news alert: unexplained low-frequency tremors detected under Baltimore rail system. Scientists baffled.
The last section of the journal's first half contained a hand-drawn map. So precise, it appeared professionally drafted, yet labeled in a style 30 years ahead of its time. But one location stood out. A red X drawn over a patch of unmarked land northwest of Denver. No town, no base, no geological survey ever recorded there. Under the X, Rourke wrote, "If the chamber still stands, it will explain everything. The lights, the patterns, the sound from beneath the stone." Amelia checked modern satellite data. The coordinates corresponded to a restricted federal zone, fenced off since 1952. The land had no official name, no accessible records, no listed purpose. One quiet note appeared on a forgotten 1961 land deed. Designated area, Kronos Reserve. Kronos. Time. Amelia whispered, "What did you discover, Dr. Rourke?" She packed her bag. She was going to Colorado, and she wasn't coming back alone.
The turbulence over the Rockies rattled the cabin, but Dr. Amelia Thorne barely noticed. She kept the journal open on her tray table, analyzing every line of Elias Rourke's handwriting. Passengers around her scrolled phones or slept, unaware that in seat 14A, someone was decoding a document that could rewrite America's past. A flight attendant passed by and glanced at the aged pages. "Old book?" she asked. "Not old," Amelia said softly. "Lost." The attendant smiled politely and moved on. Amelia exhaled. How could she even begin explaining? She turned to a section titled "The Night of the Lights." Rourke described an event he witnessed in the Colorado wilderness. A shimmering column rising from beneath the mountain, pulsating like a living aurora, though no sun touched it. And then the hum. The hum. The same anomaly that recently shook Baltimore's rail system. Before descending, Amelia snapped the journal shut. Whatever Rourke saw, whatever scared the government into burying his work, it wasn't a natural phenomenon. The plane touched down at Denver International Airport. An email pinged her phone. From unknown sender. Subject: The Rourke Ledger. Message: You are not authorized to continue. Return the document now. Her stomach tightened. They knew, and they were watching. By afternoon, Amelia had rented a Jeep and was driving northwest, following the coordinates from Rourke's map. The mountains rose like jagged fortress walls, the air thinning with each mile. At the final stretch, she reached a barbed wire fence with a faded government sign. No entry, federal research property, established 1952. But something felt off. There were no cameras, no guards, no parked vehicles, just silence. As she circled the perimeter on foot, she noticed a section where the dirt looked disturbed, not recently, but often, like something underground shifted enough to crack the soil repeatedly. Exactly what Rourke described in the ledger. Amelia pulled out her small field pick and struck the ground. It sounded hollow. She froze. A second strike. Hollow again. Her pulse raced. She dropped to her knees, brushing away soil until her fingers hit metal, a circular hatch embedded under nearly a century of dust and debris. In the center, she recognized the same insignia from the Chicago vault, USGS 1893. She swallowed. Rourke had been here, and whatever he feared was beneath this hatch. But before she could uncover more, she heard footsteps behind her, fast, heavy, purposeful. "Step away from the ground, Dr. Thorne." She turned slowly. 3 men in unmarked tactical uniforms stood with rifles raised. But behind them, a 4th person stepped forward. A man in a gray coat, hands in pockets, calm as winter. "Dr. Thorne," he said, with a cold smile, "we've been expecting you."
The man with the gray coat motioned to the soldiers, and they lowered their rifles. Slightly, not enough to be comforting. "My name is Director Hale," he said. "Kronos Division." Amelia blinked. Kronos, the same name on the 1961 land deed. "I didn't know that division existed," she said. "Good. You weren't supposed to." He stepped closer, examining the exposed hatch with mild irritation. "You shouldn't have come here. That journal you're carrying, Dr. Rourke's ledger, was classified and contained for a reason." "Rourke predicted events that happened long after his disappearance," Amelia said. "Earthquakes, technologies, even the Baltimore tremors last week." Hale didn't react, but the soldiers exchanged nervous glances. Amelia pressed harder. "So tell me, what did Rourke discover?" Hale sighed, as though deciding how much truth she deserved. "In 1893, Dr. Elias Rourke found a fault line under this mountain, but it wasn't geological, it was temporal." A cold wind swept over the ridge. "Temporal?" Amelia whispered. "Time moves in one direction, forward. But Rourke discovered a place where that rule bends." Her heart pounded. "A natural time fracture?" she asked. Hale's silence was confirmation. "He recorded what he saw, events from the future flickering through the fracture like reflections in broken glass." Amelia felt dizzy. "So the journal isn't prophecy, it's observation." Hale nodded. "And the fracture is unstable. Every time someone interferes with it, even by opening one of these old hatches, the boundary weakens." He looked at the hatch again. "And if it weakens too much, the breach spreads." Amelia's voice broke into a whisper. "Is that why the ground hums?" Hale's expression hardened. "That's why Baltimore hummed." A long silence settled. Then Hale added, "And why Chicago is next."